Captain Kim Woo-jin walked into the big control room at the United Earth Defense Command Center. His boots made soft sounds on the metal floor as he moved toward the huge screen that covered the entire wall. The room was full of people in military, uniforms all looking worried and scared. 3 days ago, their best computers had picked up a strange signal from deep space. The signal was not like anything they had ever seen before. It came from very far away from a place where no human had ever been. The signal was clearly made by someone smart, but it was not human Kim. Woo-jin had been a soldier for 20 years. He had fought in the Mars Colony War and the asteroid mining conflict, but nothing had prepared him for what was about to happen. The translation computers had been working day and night to figure out what the alien message said. Admiral Park So-young stood near the main control panel. She was the highest-ranking military person on Earth. Many people said she was the smartest person in the entire Earth Defense Force. Her face looked calm, but Kim Woo-jin could see worry in her eyes. The big screen started to glow and alien writing appeared on it. The letters looked like nothing any human had ever seen. They were sharp and curved at the same time like they were made of light and shadow. The computer started to change the alien words into human language. What appeared on the screen made everyone in the room go quiet. The message was short, but it made Kim Woo-jin feel cold inside. We are the Galactic Council. We have watched your species for 200 of your years. You have spread across star systems too quickly. You have built ships that move faster than light in only 50 years. Most species take thousands of years to do this. Your rapid growth threatens the peace of the galaxy. You are like a disease that spreads without control. We give you 30 of your days to make a choice. Return all your people to your home planet. Earth, destroy all your ships and space stations. Accept that you will never leave your solar system again. If you do this, we will let your species live. If you refuse, we will send our great fleet to destroy every human in the galaxy. We have 10,000 warships. Each one can destroy entire planets. We have done this before. To other species who would not listen, you have 30 days. Choose wisely. The room stayed quiet for a long time. Admiral Park So-young read the message again out loud. Her voice was steady, but everyone could tell she was angry. President Lee Min-ho had been called to the command center. He was a young man who had become president only 2 years ago. He had promised the people of Earth that humans would explore the galaxy in peace. Now he faced the biggest crisis in human history. The alien message also came with pictures and videos. The screen showed huge alien ships that looked like floating cities. They were so big that Earth's largest warships looked like small toys next to them. The aliens had energy weapons that could cut planets in half. Kim Woo-jin counted the ships in the alien videos. There were thousands of them, all moving in perfect formation. The aliens called themselves the Galactic Council, and they said they had been the rulers of the galaxy for over 1,000,000 years. Dr. Cho Hyojin was called to the command center. She was Earth's best scientist, and she worked on secret weapon projects that most people did not know about. She had been working on something called Project Phoenix for 15 years. When Dr. Cho looked at the alien message, she saw something that the military people had missed. She pointed at the alien ship videos and said the energy shields around the alien ships had a pattern. The pattern repeated every few seconds like a heartbeat. This pattern might be a weakness. Dr. Cho thought if human weapons could hit at exactly the right time when the pattern was weak, they might be able to hurt the alien ships. Even though the alien ships were much bigger, human weapons might still work. But Dr. Cho knew that Earth only had a few hundred warships. The aliens said they had 10,000 ships, and their ships were much more powerful. It would be like trying to fight a dragon with a small knife. President Lee Min-ho called a meeting with all the important leaders of Earth. They had to decide what to do. Should they surrender and accept being trapped on Earth forever? Or should they fight, even though they would probably lose while the leaders talked? Kim Woo-jin thought about his family. His wife and children lived on the moon colony. If Earth surrendered, they would have to come back to Earth and never see the stars again. If Earth fought, they might all die Admiral Park. So Young looked at intelligence. Reports about human colonies across space. There were millions of humans living on other planets and space stations. If the aliens attacked, all those people would be in danger. The alien message said humans had spread too fast across the galaxy. Most alien species took thousands of years to build faster than light ships. Humans had done it in only 50 years. The aliens were afraid that humans were too dangerous to let live freely. Dr. Cho Hye-jin knew about secret human projects that even the president did not know about. For 30 years, human scientists had been preparing for a war like this. They had built weapons that could destroy entire fleets, but these weapons were so dangerous that using them might hurt humans too the next 24 hours would decide the future of humanity. Would humans accept being prisoners on their own planet? Or would they show the aliens why humans were the most dangerous species in the galaxy? Kim Woo-jin looked at the alien message one more time. The aliens thought humans would be scared. They thought humans would surrender like all the other species had done before, but the aliens had never fought humans before. They did not know that humans never gave up when their families were threatened. General Nam Tae-hyun entered the command center. He was in charge of Earth's most secret military projects. His face was serious, but Kim Woo-jin saw something else in his eyes. General Nam looked almost excited, like he had been waiting for this day for a very long time. The alien ultimatum was clear: surrender or die. But what the aliens did not know was that humans had a third choice: fight back with weapons so powerful that even the Galactic Council would be afraid. As the sun set on Earth, military bases around the world received coded messages. Projects that had been secret for decades were suddenly activated. Deep underground factories started building new weapons. Ships that had been hidden in the darkness of space began to move. The Galactic Council had sent Earth a threat, expecting humans to act like all the other species who had surrendered. But they were about to learn that humans were different. When humans were threatened, they did not run or surrender. They prepared for total war. General Nam Tae-hyun walked through the secret tunnels deep under the Pacific Ocean. The tunnels were so deep that no satellite could see them and no alien scanner could find them. He had been building this place for 30 years, waiting for the day when Earth would need its greatest weapons. The tunnels led to a massive underground city filled with machines and workers. Dr. Yoon Ja-eun was waiting for him at the main control center. She was the best shipbuilder on Earth, and she had designed something that would shock the aliens. For 30 years, humans had been building a secret fleet. The ships were hidden in underwater bases and asteroid mines where no one would look. The fleet had only 300 ships, but each ship carried weapons that could destroy entire alien fleets. Dr. Yoon had built the ships to look small and weak from the outside, but inside each ship was technology that the Galactic Council had never seen before. The ships were built around one simple idea: if you cannot build stronger shields, then build weapons that can go through any shield. The human ships carried 3 types of weapons that would terrify the aliens. The first weapons were called quantum torpedoes. These weapons could pass through solid matter, like it was not even there. They would go through alien shields and armor and explode inside the enemy ships. The second weapons were dark matter cannons. These weapons could tear holes in space itself. When they fired, they created wounds in reality that would swallow anything nearby. The aliens had never seen weapons that could damage the fabric of space. The third weapons were the most dangerous of all. They were called reality bombs. These weapons could make matter stop existing. They did not destroy things. They made them disappear from the universe completely. But using these weapons was very dangerous because they could damage space and time forever. Colonel Kang Min-jun supervised the loading of these weapons onto the secret ships. Each quantum torpedo needed as much energy as a small star to create. The dark matter cannons used special particles that took years to make. The reality bombs were so dangerous that just having them was scary. Dr. Song Hyo-jung was the scientist who had discovered the truth about the Galactic Council. The Council had ruled the galaxy for 1,000,000 years, but not because they were the strongest. They ruled because they destroyed any species that became too advanced too quickly. The Galactic Council had killed hundreds of alien species over the years. Anytime a new species learned to build faster than light ships, the Council would destroy them completely. Humans were not the first species to face this threat. They were just the latest in a long line of victims, but humans were different from all the other species. The other species had tried to negotiate or surrender or fight with normal weapons. Humans had spent decades preparing for a war that would either make them extinct or make them the most feared species in the galaxy. The secret fleet construction moved faster as Earth's deadline got closer. Every human colony in space received coded messages that meant prepare for war or prepare to run away. The colonies started, moving their people to safe places while getting ready to fight. Ambassador Shin Yujin was chosen to deliver Earth's answer to the Galactic Council. She was brave and smart, and she had volunteered for the most dangerous job in human history. She would fly to the alien fleet and give them humanity's response. The message she carried was simple and direct. Earth rejects your ultimatum. We will not surrender our colonies. We will not return to our home planet. We will not accept being prisoners. If you want to destroy us, then come and try. The aliens had made a big mistake. They thought humans would act like every other species they had faced before. They expected humans to be afraid to negotiate, to surrender, or to fight with weak weapons. They had no idea that humans had been preparing for this exact situation for 30 years. The secret shipyards worked day and night to finish the fleet. Workers who had spent their whole lives building these ships in secret finally saw them ready for battle. The ships looked strange and dangerous, like metal sharks ready to hunt. Captain Kim Woo-jin was given command of one of the strike groups. His ship was called the Shadow Blade, and it carried enough firepower to destroy a small moon. But he knew that even with these powerful weapons, the humans were still outnumbered. 30-1, Admiral Park. So-young moved the secret fleet into position near the asteroid belt where they could hide from alien sensors. The ships used advanced stealth, technology that made them invisible to most scanners. The aliens would not see them coming until it was too late. Dr. Cho Hye-jin worked on the final preparations for the quantum weapons. She had discovered that alien shields worked in patterns, and if human weapons could hit at exactly the right moment, they could penetrate any defense. The timing had to be perfect down to tiny fractions of a second. President Lee Min-ho gave one final speech to the people of Earth. He told them that humanity faced the greatest threat in their history, but also their greatest opportunity. If they won this war, humans would be free to explore the galaxy. If they lost, everything would end. The speech was broadcast to every human colony in space. Millions of people watched as their leader promised that Earth would never surrender to alien threats. Children who had been born on distant planets learned that they might never see their homes again, but that humans would fight to protect their right to live among the stars. General Nam Tae-hyun received the final authorization codes that would allow the secret fleet to use its most dangerous weapons. The reality bombs were armed and ready, but everyone knew that using them would change the galaxy forever. The Galactic Council's deadline was only 5 days away. Their advanced fleet was already moving toward Earth's solar system. The aliens expected to find frightened humans ready to surrender. Instead, they would find the most dangerous military force that had ever been created. Deep in the secret bases, final preparations were made. Weapons that had taken decades to perfect were loaded onto ships that had been built in complete secrecy. The human fleet was ready to show the galaxy that Earth would never bow down to threats. The aliens thought they knew everything about human technology. They had been watching Earth for 200 years, and they believed humans were still a primitive species. They had no idea that humans had been hiding. Their greatest achievements, preparing for the day when they would need to fight for their survival. As the secret fleet prepared to launch, Ambassador Shin Yu-jin's ship approached the alien fleet. She carried humanity's defiant response to their ultimatum. The message would reach the aliens in just a few hours, and then the greatest war in galactic history would begin. Fleet Commander Rockstar stood on the bridge of his massive flagship, watching the small blue planet called Earth through the viewing screen. He belonged to the Zenthari species, and he had conquered 47 different worlds for the Galactic Council. This would be number 48, and it would be easy. The Zenthari fleet had 500 warships, each one bigger than a human city. The ships had energy shields that could stop any weapon and cannons that could crack planets in half. Rockstar had never lost a single battle in his 300 years of military service. The human response to their ultimatum had been foolish and insulting. Instead of surrendering, the humans had sent a message saying they would never give up their colonies. Rockstar laughed at their stupidity. These primitive creatures thought they could fight the masters of the galaxy. The alien fleet approached the red planet called Mars, where humans had built mining colonies and research stations. Rockstar decided to destroy these colonies first, to show Earth what would happen if they continued to resist. The destruction would be broadcast to Earth, so they could see their future. Admiral Park, So Young, watched from the bridge of the human flagship as the alien fleet attacked Mars. The mining stations exploded in bright flashes of light, and the research bases were turned to dust in seconds. Thousands of humans had lived and worked on Mars, but they had all been evacuated 3 days ago. The aliens did not. No, the colonies were empty. They thought they were killing thousands of people to terrorize Earth into surrendering. But the attacks just made the human military leaders more angry and more determined to fight. Captain Kim Woo-jin commanded the human strike fleet from his position hidden in the asteroid belt. His ships were invisible to alien sensors thanks to stealth technology that had taken 20 years to perfect. 300 human ships waited in the darkness like hunters preparing to strike. The alien celebration after destroying Mars was exactly what the humans had been waiting for. The enemy ships lowered their guard, thinking they had already won. The alien commander sent a message to Earth demanding immediate surrender, or the home planet would suffer the same fate as Mars. That was when Admiral Park gave the order that changed galactic history. All human ships decloak and attack. 300 human warships suddenly appeared in space around the alien fleet. The enemy had no warning and no time to raise their shields. The first quantum torpedoes struck the alien flagship before Commander Rockstar even knew he was under attack. The quantum torpedo passed through the alien ship's hull like it was made of air. The weapon exploded inside the ship's power core, causing a chain reaction that tore the massive vessel apart from the inside out. Commander Rockstar died instantly along with his entire crew of 3,000 aliens in the first 30 seconds of the battle. 50 alien ships were completely destroyed. The human weapons ignored shields and armor. Completely dark matter cannons created holes in space that swallowed entire enemy vessels. The aliens had never faced anything like this before. Captain Kang Min-jun piloted his ship through the enemy formation, firing quantum torpedoes at point-blank range. Each shot destroyed an alien vessel that was 10 times larger than his own ship. The enemy tried to return fire, but their weapons could not. Lock on to the fast-moving human ship's commander Torg Zal of the alien Second Fleet screamed orders to his remaining ships, but nothing worked. The human weapons seemed to break the laws of physics, passing through matter and creating tears in space. Itself, the greatest military force in the galaxy, was being destroyed by creatures they had thought were primitive. Dr. Cho Hye-jin monitored the battle from Earth's command center, watching as her weapons performed even better than expected. Each alien ship that was destroyed gave her more data about enemy technology, making the next shots even more accurate. The human fleet moved through the enemy formation like wolves hunting sheep. The alien ships were bigger and more heavily armored, but size meant nothing when human weapons could strike from inside the target. The dark matter cannons created wounds in space that pulled nearby ships into nothingness. Within 1 hour, 300 alien ships had been destroyed. The remaining 200 enemy vessels tried to retreat, but Captain Kim Woo-jin had predicted their escape routes. Human ships appeared in front of the fleeing aliens, cutting off their path to safety. General Nam Tae-hyun watched the tactical display as the last alien ships were hunted down and eliminated. Not a single enemy vessel escaped to warn the main Galactic Council fleet about human weapons technology. The battle had been a perfect victory, but Kim Woo-jin knew this was only the beginning. The main alien armada had 10,000 ships, and they would not underestimate humanity again. The next battle would be much harder, and the aliens would be prepared for human tactics. The destruction of the alien vanguard sent shockwaves across the galaxy. Species that had been slaves to the Galactic Council for thousands of years heard rumors that the humans had destroyed 500 Council warships without losing a single vessel. On the Council's homeworlds, panic spread among the ruling classes. No species had ever successfully resisted their fleets before. The very idea that primitive humans could defeat advanced alien technology seemed impossible, but the evidence was undeniable. Admiral Park So-young sent a message to all human colonies. Across space, Phase 1, complete, prepare for total war. The secret was out now, and the Galactic Council would respond with everything they had. Dr. Song Hyo-jung analyzed the wreckage of alien ships that had been captured during the battle. The technology was advanced, but not as advanced as the Council wanted everyone to believe. Much of their power came from fear, and the reputation built over millions of years. The human fleet regrouped in the outer solar system, preparing for the main battle that was coming. The aliens would bring their entire armada and weapons that could destroy star systems. The next fight would determine whether humanity survived or whether they joined the hundreds of other species that the Council had eliminated. President Lee Min-ho addressed the world, once again telling everyone that the first battle was won, but the real war was just beginning. The aliens would come back with everything they had, and humanity would need to use their most dangerous weapons to survive. Colonel Lim Yu-na intercepted alien communications, revealing that the Galactic Council was mobilizing every warship they had. The main fleet would arrive in 15 days, and it would carry weapons that could turn the sun into a weapon against Earth itself. But humanity was ready. The secret weapons that had taken decades to build were prepared for deployment. Reality bombs that could erase matter from existence were armed and waiting. The galaxy was about to see why humans were the most dangerous species that had ever lived. As the human fleet prepared for the final battle, Captain Kim Woo-jin thought about the message Earth had sent to the aliens. Come and try to make us comply. The Council had tried and lost 500 ships. Now they would try again with everything they had. The next battle would be the largest space combat in galactic history, and humanity would either emerge as the new power in the galaxy or they would be completely destroyed. But one thing was certain: the galaxy would never be the same again. High Chancellor Vex Moran of the hegemony species slammed his 6-clawed hands on the council table with enough force to crack the ancient stone. The Galactic Council chamber had never seen such rage in its million-year history. The news from the human solar system was impossible, but it had happened. 500 of their best warships had been completely destroyed by a mere 300 human vessels. The Vanguard fleet that had conquered thousands of worlds had been eliminated without destroying a single enemy ship. It was the greatest military disaster in Council history. The emergency session brought together leaders from all 12 species that ruled the galaxy. Each species blamed the others for underestimating the human threat. Fleet Marshal Corthalin of the Dominion roared that they should have used planet-killer weapons from the beginning. General Yixvara of the Supremacy demanded an immediate response with their entire military force. She wanted to deploy every warship in the galaxy to crush the human rebellion before it could inspire other species to resist Council authority. But High Admiral Zethrios of the Authority had an even more terrifying suggestion. He proposed using reality shearing weapons that could erase entire star systems from existence. These weapons had only been used twice before, and both times they had made entire civilizations disappear, forever, on Earth. Major Lim Yuna worked in the Intelligence Center monitoring alien communications that had been intercepted by human spy satellites. The conversations between Council leaders revealed the true scale of what humanity now faced. The aliens were not just planning to send more ships, they were preparing to deploy weapons that could destroy the sun itself, turning Earth's own star into a weapon against the planet. The quantum torpedoes that had worked so well against the Vanguard fleet would be useless against reality shearing technology. Dr. Song Hyo-jung studied the intercepted alien technical data looking for weaknesses in their most powerful weapons. What she discovered was both terrifying and hopeful. The reality shearing weapons required massive amounts of energy and could only fire when alien ships were arranged in specific formations. The weapons also needed long charging times during which the alien fleet would be vulnerable. If the human fleet could attack during the charge cycle, they might be able to prevent the aliens from using their most dangerous. Weapons President Lee Min-ho called another emergency meeting with Earth's leaders. The alien response was beyond anything they had expected. The Council was preparing to use weapons that could eliminate the entire solar system to make sure humanity never threatened them again. The pressure on Earth's leadership was enormous. Admiral Park So-young recommended an immediate evacuation of the solar system to save as many humans as possible. General Nam Tae-hyun argued for using humanity's reality bombs, even though they would damage space-time for centuries. Dr. Cho Hae-jin presented her analysis of the alien weapons to the Council. The reality shearing devices were powerful, but they had limitations. Understanding these limitations might give humanity a chance to survive the coming battle. The meeting lasted 18 hours as Earth's leaders debated their options. They could run and try to save some humans in distant colonies. They could surrender and accept extinction. They could fight with conventional weapons and certainly lose. Or they could use their most dangerous weapons and risk damaging the galaxy itself. President Lee finally made the decision that would determine humanity's fate. They would deploy the reality bombs and fight with everything they had. Even if using the weapons damaged space and time, it was better than letting the Alien Council destroy every human in the galaxy. The president addressed the world in what many believed would be his final broadcast, to the human race. He spoke calmly, but everyone could hear the determination in his voice. "They call us a pest," he said. "They think we should crawl back to our home planet and wait to die." But they made one crucial mistake. They threatened not just our lives, but our children's future. And that is something humanity will never accept. Colonel Nam Tae-hyun received the authorization codes that would allow the deployment of Project Phoenix's ultimate weapons. The reality bombs were moved from their storage facilities and prepared for combat use. Each device was powerful enough to erase a moon from existence. The main Galactic Council fleet began its approach to the solar system, moving in formations that had conquered 1,000,000 worlds. 10,000 alien warships, each one capable of destroying planets, moved through space like a dark storm cloud. Their sensors detected the human fleet waiting near Jupiter, still numbering only 300 ships. The aliens were confident that their overwhelming numbers and superior technology would guarantee victory this time. High Chancellor Vex Moran commanded the alien armada from his flagship, the Eternal Dominance. He had personally ordered the reality shearing weapons to be prepared for immediate use. As soon as they entered the solar system, they would erase every human settlement from existence. But what the aliens could not detect were the reality bombs that had already been positioned throughout their approach route. The devices were invisible to alien sensors and completely undetectable until the moment they activated. Dr. Yoon Ja-eun had spent weeks calculating the exact positions where the alien fleet would travel. The reality bombs were placed like invisible mines waiting for the enemy ships to come within range. Captain Kim Woo-jin prepared his crew for the battle that would determine humanity's survival. His ship carried enough firepower to destroy small planets, but he knew that the coming fight would require more than conventional weapons. The alien fleet moved through space with the confidence of conquerors who had never faced serious resistance. Their formations were perfect, and their weapons were charged and ready. They expected to end the human rebellion within hours. Admiral Park. So-young watched the approaching enemy fleet on her tactical displays. 10,000 ships against 300 seemed like impossible odds, but she knew that the aliens had no idea what they were flying into. The reality bombs waited in the darkness of space, invisible and silent. Each device contained enough power to collapse the quantum field that held matter together. When they activated, they would not just destroy the alien ships, they would erase them from reality itself. High Admiral Zethrios supervised the charging of the reality shearing weapons from his command ship. The massive energy cannons would fire as soon as they entered human space, eliminating Earth and every human colony in a single devastating attack. But the alien admiral did not know that his fleet was already flying through a trap that had been prepared specifically for them. The humans had studied alien tactics for decades, and they knew exactly where the Council fleet would position itself as the alien armada approached the outer edge of the solar system. Humanity prepared to unleash weapons so powerful that using them would change the fundamental nature of space and time. The galaxy was about to witness the most destructive battle in its history. The Galactic Council had ruled through fear and overwhelming force for 1,000,000 years. They had destroyed hundreds of species that had threatened their power, but they had never faced an enemy that was willing to damage reality itself rather than accept defeat. In a few hours, the greatest fleet in galactic history would discover why humanity was the most dangerous species that had ever evolved. The coming battle would either end with human extinction or with the complete destruction of the Galactic Council's power. The stage was set for a conflict that would reshape the galaxy forever. The main Galactic Council armada entered the outer solar system in a formation that had terrorized the galaxy for millennia. 10,000 warships, each one larger than Earth's biggest cities, moved through space in perfect synchronization. Their dark hulls blocked out the stars as they advanced toward humanity's final stand. High Chancellor Vex Moran stood on the bridge of the dreadnought Eternal Dominance, watching the tactical displays that showed the approaching battle. The human fleet was detected near Jupiter, still pathetically small at only 300 ships. Every alien vessel was more powerful than anything the humans possessed. The Chancellor felt confident that this battle would restore the Council's reputation across the galaxy. The destruction of the Vanguard fleet had been a fluke caused by underestimating primitive human weapons. This time they were prepared for anything the humans might try. Admiral Park. So-young stood on the bridge of the human flagship, watching sensors that revealed the true scale of what they faced. 10,000 enemy ships approaching in formations that could destroy entire star systems. Every human ship was outnumbered more than 30-1, but Dr. Yoon Ja-eun had spent 30 years preparing for exactly this scenario. The human ships were not meant to match alien firepower. Instead, they were designed to make enemy advantages irrelevant. Through superior tactics and weapons that broke the rules of physics, the battle began. With the aliens powering up their reality-shearing weapons, these massive energy cannons were the most feared weapons in the galaxy, capable of erasing planets from existence. The charging process created distortions in space that could be detected from light years away. Fleet Marshal Korth Allen supervised the weapon charging sequence from his command ship. The reality-shearing cannons required precise coordination between hundreds of vessels, but once fired, they would eliminate every human presence in the solar system as the alien weapons charged. Captain Kim Woo-jin received the order that would change galactic history. Admiral Park's voice came over the communication system, clear and determined. Deploy reality bombs. The invisible devices that had been positioned throughout the alien fleet's approach route suddenly activated. Reality bombs did not destroy matter in the conventional sense. They collapsed the quantum field that held space-time together, making targeted areas simply cease to exist. The effect was immediate and terrifying. Entire sections of the alien fleet vanished in the first wave, not destroyed or damaged, but completely erased from reality. 3,000 alien warships disappeared as if they had never existed, leaving empty space where moments before there had been massive vessels. High Chancellor Vex Moran watched in absolute horror as nearly a third of his fleet was eliminated in seconds. The ships had not been blown up or cut apart. They had simply stopped existing. The quantum readings from those areas showed complete voids in space-time itself. The remaining 7,000 alien ships tried to change course and retreat, but Dr. Cho Hae-jin had calculated all possible escape routes. More reality bombs activated along the aliens' withdrawal paths, erasing another 2,000 vessels from existence. The alien fleet was in complete chaos. Fleet commanders screamed orders over communication channels while their ships disappeared around them. The formations that had conquered 1,000,000 worlds broke apart as captains desperately tried to find safe routes through the minefield of reality-erasing weapons. But the reality bombs came with a terrible cost. Major Lim Yu-na monitored space time readings that showed dangerous fluctuations in the fabric of the universe. Each weapon that fired left permanent scars in reality areas where the laws of physics would operate differently. Forever, Colonel Kang Min-jun realized that using too many reality bombs would risk creating holes in space-time that could never be repaired. The weapons were so powerful that they threatened the stability of the entire galaxy. The surviving 5,000 alien ships regrouped and charged directly at the human fleet, abandoning all formation discipline in desperate fury. Fleet Marshal Korth Allen screamed orders for his ships to ram the humans if necessary. The Galactic Council's million-year reign could not end here. High Admiral Zethrios tried to maintain tactical control, but his reality-shearing weapons were useless in close combat. The massive cannons needed specific formations to fire, and the chaotic battle made coordinated attacks impossible. Captain Nam Tae-hyun activated the final phase of humanity's battle plan. The human ships did not retreat or stand their ground to fight. Instead, they scattered in all directions while launching every quantum torpedo and dark matter cannon round they possessed. The alien fleet found themselves surrounded by weapons that ignored their shields and armor. Quantum torpedoes phased through solid matter and exploded inside enemy ships. Dark matter cannons created wounds in space that swallowed anything nearby. General Yixvara's flagship was struck by 6 quantum torpedoes simultaneously. The weapons passed through the ship's advanced armor and detonated in the power core, engine room, and command bridge. The massive vessel broke apart from the inside, while its shields remained completely intact. The human fleet moved through the enemy formation like hunters stalking prey. Each human ship was smaller and appeared weaker, but their weapons could destroy vessels 100 times their size. The aliens discovered that size and armor meant nothing against weapons that attacked reality itself. High Chancellor Vex Moran tried to rally his remaining forces, but the battle was already lost. Half his fleet had been erased by reality bombs, and the other half was being systematically destroyed by human weapons that defied the laws of physics. Dr. Song Hyo-jung monitored the battle from Earth, analyzing the performance of each weapon system. The quantum torpedoes worked perfectly against alien armor, while the dark matter cannons created tactical advantages by blocking enemy movement. Within 6 hours, the greatest armada in galactic history was reduced to scattered debris floating in space. Only 300 alien ships managed to escape, and they carried news that would shake every civilized world in the galaxy. The survivors reported that humanity possessed weapons that could erase reality itself and tactics that made traditional space combat obsolete. The humans had not just defeated the Galactic Council, they had demonstrated that the Council's million-year reign was over. Captain Kim Woo-jin surveyed the battlefield where 10,000 alien ships had been reduced to wreckage and empty space. The human fleet had lost only 12 vessels while destroying the most powerful military force the galaxy had ever seen, Admiral Park. So-young sent a message to every human colony across space. The main council fleet has been destroyed. Earth is safe, and humanity is free to explore the galaxy. The species that had threatened to imprison humans on their home planet no longer existed as a military force, but the victory came with sobering knowledge. Dr. Cho Hee-jin's analysis revealed that the areas where reality bombs had been used would remain unstable for thousands of years. The weapons had saved humanity, but they had also created permanent scars in the fabric of space, time. President Lee Min-ho addressed the world with news of the incredible victory, but also with warnings about the cost. The reality bombs had been necessary to save humanity, but their use had created zones where space and time operated by different rules. The battle was over, but its consequences would shape the galaxy for millions of years. The Galactic Council's power was broken, and humanity had emerged as the most feared species in known space. The weapons that had won the war would ensure that no future empire would dare threaten human space. As the human fleet regrouped and began the journey home, Captain Kim Woo-jin thought about what they had accomplished. They had faced impossible odds against an enemy that had ruled for 1,000,000 years, and they had won completely. The message that Earth had sent to the aliens had been prophetic. Come and try to make us comply. The Council had tried with everything they had, and they had been utterly destroyed. The galaxy now knew that humanity would never bow down to threats. The age of the Galactic Council was over, and the age of human expansion was about to begin. The Galactic Council chamber fell completely silent as the surviving ship commanders delivered their reports to the remaining alien leaders. High Chancellor Vex Moran stared at tactical displays showing the complete destruction of their greatest fleet. In one battle, humanity had eliminated 70% of the Council's military power. The reports were almost impossible to believe. 10,000 of their best warships had been destroyed by only 300 human vessels. The aliens had lost entire fleets to weapons that could erase matter from existence, while the humans had lost only a dozen ships. Fleet Marshal Korth Allen, who had escaped the battle in a damaged cruiser, described weapons that ignored all known laws of physics. The humans had used devices that could make ships disappear from reality itself, leaving empty voids in space where massive vessels had once been. But on Earth, the victory celebration was tempered by sobering knowledge. Dr. Song Hyo-jung's detailed analysis revealed that the reality bombs had caused permanent damage to the fabric of space-time. Areas where the weapons had detonated would remain unstable for thousands of years. President Lee Min-ho convened an emergency session of Earth's leadership to decide what to do with their devastating victory. The question was no longer how to survive the alien threat, but how to use their position as the galaxy's new dominant military power. Admiral Park So-young argued for immediate expansion into Council territory. While the aliens were weak and disorganized, human fleets could occupy key systems and establish Earth's control over strategic resources before any remaining alien forces could reorganize. Colonel Lim Yu-na proposed demanding tribute from all alien species, forcing them to pay for the right to exist in the same galaxy as humanity. The fear of human weapons would make most species accept any terms rather than risk facing reality bombs. But Dr. Cho Hae-jin raised a more disturbing possibility. Other species throughout the galaxy would now fear humanity the way they had previously feared the Council. The humans might have simply replaced one galactic tyranny with another. The answer to their dilemma came from an unexpected source. Ambassador Shin Yu-jin, who had been captured during the first alien attack, had escaped from a Council prison ship during the chaos of their defeat. She brought crucial intelligence about the true nature of galactic politics. Galactic Council's million-year reign had been built on systematically destroying any species that showed rapid technological advancement. Over the centuries, they had eliminated hundreds of potentially powerful civilizations before they could become threats to Council authority. Every species in the galaxy lived in fear of showing too much progress or growing too quickly. The Council had created a system where advancement was punished by extinction. This explained why galactic civilization had remained stagnant for so long. Captain Kim Woo-jin proposed a radical solution that surprised everyone. Instead of replacing the Galactic Council's tyranny with human dominance, Earth should destroy the Council entirely and offer freedom to every oppressed species in the galaxy. The idea was revolutionary. Rather than becoming the new galactic overlords, humans would become liberators. The surviving alien fleets would be hunted down and eliminated, but the worlds they had ruled would be offered technology and protection, not conquest. Dr. Yoon Ja-yoon supported the plan, arguing that humanity's long-term security depended on having allies rather than subjects. A galaxy full of free species grateful to Earth would be much safer than a galaxy full of conquered peoples plotting revenge. The decision was made to begin Phase 2 of humanity's expansion. Human fleets would emerge from the solar system in all directions, hunting down the remaining Council forces while offering liberation to every species that had been oppressed. The ships had been prepared for extended campaigns with manufacturing facilities that could build new weapons and vessels using resources from any star system. The human fleet could operate independently for years without returning to Earth. General Nam Tae-hyun established the new protocol for human expansion. Liberated worlds would be offered advanced technology and protection from any remaining Council forces. In return, they would provide resources and support for continued human operations. Within 6 months, human fleets had spread across a quarter of the galaxy. The remaining Council forces were scattered and demoralized. Most alien commanders surrendered immediately when faced with human ships, rather than risk facing weapons that could erase them from existence. Captain Kang Min-jun led the liberation of the Zerion system, where the Council had maintained a massive slave labor operation. 300 million aliens from dozens of different species had been forced to work in mines and factories for over 1,000 years. When the human fleet arrived, the Council garrison fled without fighting. The liberated aliens could barely believe that their centuries of oppression were finally over. Many of them had never seen their homeworlds, having been born into slavery. Dr. Cho Hae-jin worked with scientists from liberated species to share human technology. The quantum torpedo designs were modified for defensive use while dark. Matter manipulation techniques revolutionized space travel and construction. The reality bombs were sealed away in the most secure facilities ever built. The weapons were too dangerous for regular use, but their existence ensured that no future galactic empire would dare threaten human space or their allied species. President Lee Min-ho established the Galactic Liberation Charter, declaring that every species had the right to develop their own technology and explore space without interference. The charter was the opposite of everything the Council had represented. Admiral Park So-young commanded the final campaign against the Council's last stronghold on their ancient capital world. The battle lasted only hours as the few remaining alien ships were destroyed by quantum torpedoes and dark matter cannons. High Chancellor Vex Moran was captured alive and put on trial for crimes against galactic civilization. The evidence presented showed that the Council had systematically murdered over 200 different species during their reign of terror. The trial was broadcast across the galaxy, allowing every species to see justice finally served against their former oppressors. The Chancellor was sentenced to life imprisonment on a world where the laws of physics had been altered by reality bomb detonations. Within 2 years, the Galactic Council ceased to exist as a political or military force. Their fleets were destroyed, their leadership eliminated, and their empire dissolved. But humanity kept their promise to the galaxy. Liberated worlds were offered technology and protection, but not conquest. The species that had once cowered before Council fleets now looked to Earth as the force that had ended 1,000,000 years of oppression. General Nam Tae-hyun established the new galactic order based on voluntary cooperation between free species. Earth served as protector and technology provider, but not as ruler. Each species was free to develop their own government and culture. The galaxy began to advance technologically for the first time in millions of years. Species that had been afraid to innovate under Council rule now rushed to develop new technologies and explore new possibilities. Captain Kim Woo-jin was promoted to admiral and placed in command of the Galactic Protection Fleet. Human ships patrolled trade routes and responded to distress calls, but they never conquered or occupied alien worlds. The transformation was remarkable. Within 5 years, the galaxy had more technological advancement than it had seen in the previous 1,000,000 years under Council rule. Free species shared knowledge and resources, creating innovations that benefited everyone. Dr. Song Hyo-jung established research partnerships with alien scientists, leading to breakthroughs in faster-than-light travel, energy generation, and space construction. The galaxy was entering a new golden age of cooperation and discovery. The Galactic Council had sent Earth a threat expecting submission like every species before them. Instead, they discovered why humanity was the most dangerous force the galaxy had ever encountered. Not because humans were the strongest, but because they refused to accept that strength, determined right, they possessed. The will and weapons to enforce their belief that every species deserved freedom to live and grow among the stars. The 1,000,000-year reign of fear and oppression was replaced by an age where species could advance and explore without terror of extinction. The galaxy had learned that threatening humanity's freedom would result in the complete destruction of any force foolish enough to try. Earth had replied to